Hello and welcome back. I'm excited to share really a week in the life of a married couple. I don't know exactly what these vlogs are going to look like in the future, but I did want to share with you now kind of where we are and what we've been up to setting up for Christmas and just some getting in the holiday spirit. But first and foremost, we need to clean, declutter, and get rid of the fall stuff first. And so we're actually going to start this video first with a recipe. And so I first decided to make him a chicken marsala. And so you already see here, I just drenched the chicken in some onion powder, garlic powder, and flour, just so that it could get a better sear on there, into a hot skillet. I put it, so I used my cast iron skillet for this. I already had it warmed up so that there would be a nice sear. Actually putting the seasoning, a little more seasoning on top. I allowed that to cook. And then I also decided that I was going to have green beans on the side. In my green beans, I just seasoned them with the same garlic powder, salt, a little Italian seasoning, and olive oil. I did pre-cook some mushrooms actually because I was in a work meeting, so I just threw that on. So here I'm just mixing in some olive oil, some garlic into my mushrooms, and once my chicken is cooked, I'm going to put that straight into the same cast iron pan to serve, to begin my chicken marsala. And so we'll just set the chicken aside, and then I'm going to put my mushrooms straight into the pan, trying to get all that oil out and garlic goodness. And then I'm going to add a little marsala wine and chicken stock. Correction here, actually I didn't have marsala wine, so I did use white wine. I don't really know the difference between the wines. I just know that they both taste good. They're both cooking wines, and normally I just pick up whatever Hy-Vee has available. So I'm just gonna add those two straight into my mushrooms, and really this is just gonna have to simmer. I'm gonna cook it down, and then later on, once it's cooked down, I'll add in the milk. So here I'm just letting this simmer. I also decided to cook up some noodles because I was just going to serve this plain and then realized I should probably put some sort of starch in his lunch because he complains when I don't. And so I did decide to make some just noodles. I made one serving of noodles that I broke them in half so that they were smaller. Because I didn't want them to be the base of the dish, I wanted them to just add to the dish. Noodles and rice are super simple and easy to add. I didn't take a whole lot of footage of making it, so here's me actually plating it up. After I threw the cream in and I threw everything back in, I cut up the chicken, and now I'm just portioning it out into 3 lunches. I let the green beans sear so that there was a nice sear on all of the green beans, and just plated them all together in these little portion control containers or separated containers. Colin really likes these. I'm not a big fan of the plastic, just because if you cook something and it's too hot, it starts to make the plastic bubble. But when he was using my Pyrex, we learned that it was really hot for him to take out of the microwave and really hard for him to take out of the microwave. because even at work when there was pot holders, he couldn't grip the dish enough to take it out of the microwave. So I just decided to make Pyrex what I use at home, and these plastic containers what he could take to work. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this cleaning. And really just to understand my cleaning process, I have tried to aim for focusing on one room, but I first needed to take all the other decor down, and I decided to rearrange. I knew that I needed space for the Christmas tree, and so I actually decided I had to switch out shelves. So I switched our 6-cube shelf out for the shelf that was in my office. And so you'll see later on, probably in a different video, the office rearranged. And so my before and my after on my office, I don't have footage for the whole time because I just switched things as I brought things in here. And so I don't have footage for that. But here's kind of the room when we started in the bedroom. And this is first thing in the morning, like just got up. We didn't, I didn't purposely make a mess. It's just been a messy kind of week for me. And so this is just, it's cluttered and there's just a lot going on. And so I started with the bedroom because the bedroom was a quick fix. And I want to share with you this kind of fun little basket idea that I use with my grocery cart and our laundry. And so let's quick talk about that. So I just started the laundry, but I wanted to talk to you about this. It's kind of fun because so we live in an apartment and our laundry is upstairs. So we have to go down the hall, upstairs. Luckily there's an elevator at this apartment building. There wasn't at my first apartment. But this basket, which I'm using it for laundry, so I have this broken box of dryer sheets on top. But it's really nice because I can just set our small laundry basket right on top of this. And whenever there's dirty laundry, it's always right here. If we need stain remover, I filled up one of these Grove bottles with stain remover. So we can just squirt it on there, let it soak, rinse it off, and then put it in and normally, you know, our normal launder. And then I switched, this used to be what I'd hold my little pods in, but I switched to quarters just because we need so many of them, and it just fit really well. OxiClean. But then at the bottom here, it's really nice because I bought these XOXO containers. A lot of people use them as pantry. They have a seal that you just press, you know, seal it. But I switched and I put my laundry packets in here. These are from Grove. I love that these are dry packets, so I don't have to worry about them getting wet and sticking together, or one breaking open and ruining the whole thing. And then, like in the winter, I can have a few of these in the car because we do take laundry to the large laundromat. Like if I want to do bedding, it's easier to just go over there because they have the big machines and the nicer industrial dryers that actually dry your clothes. But these are also very nice because Colin can use them. It's a simple, you know, it's press down, press up, and then it gives you, you know, you can grip it anywhere and take it off, but then it provides this part to grip. So that's easy. And I invested in two nice tall ones. One has our scent boosters, and so we get, I don't know the name of the scent, but they're always pink. So that it's also really nice and is very aesthetic looking, because you don't have to have the awkward different shaped bottles, or these come in like a little bag of recyclable, reusable, or not reusable, but recyclable materials. And then these come in a plastic container, and I can buy a big plastic one, fill it up. But that's really nice because, again, you can just leave it in the bottom of the basket, unclick it, and then I put the scooper in there. So those are really nice. And then we have borax and borax, bleach, and fabric softener all in the bottom here as well. So we can just take this whole cart with us and be good to go. And just to show you what it does look like when I have a basket on, I'll just use this basket. It's the same size as our laundry basket. This one just holds all the hangers. So it sits on there really nice. And this basket is perfect size for a load of laundry in our machines here. Because the dryers don't work well, this size works really well to get them dry enough that I can finish hang drying them, and they'll be dry in the next hour or so from being laid out. So as I'm going through editing this, I wanted to include this next section in this Clean With Me. It also will be in our couple vlog when I finish editing the vlog portion that will go on the other channel. But I wanted to include this cleaning of the living room because there was a lot of change. I completely reorganized it, moved things around so that there was a different flow to the room, as well as set up the Christmas tree and got some of the just clutter out. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of it just right now went into my office and just provided that it wasn't out and visible out there so that I could feel very comfortable and that that space was very clean, versus in the office feeling a little overwhelmed by the amount of stuff. But I'm very familiar with that from our wedding vlogs and our wedding projects that just kind of overtook this room. And so I just want to hop in and show you. Here is the before video This is just one of the many videos I took of this room, and it is just cluttered. This doesn't even have the Christmas stuff in yet. I was kind of in the process of taking down decorations when I decided to video this, but really a lot of it was just rearranging, and there's still things from our wedding that are sitting on the floor and just need to find a home. So I might be making it look a little confusing because I do have two videos overlapping, but I did start with cleaning out this one corner that I knew needed to get cleaned out because that was where our tree would be, as well as just picking up things that really routinely could be tidied up. So we have a basket of blankets that I like to roll up and put into this basket over by the window. And so here I'm working on the shelf as well as rolling up these blankets. Then I move to just the couch, and I use this backpack as my go bag. So anything that I need to get done, I put it in my backpack. And so I did use that as an opportunity to pick up things that I need to get done and put them right in the bag so that I know where they are. Then throughout, it's just really picking up pieces that don't belong. And here I easily could have focused on cleaning first and then rearranging, but I realized once I took the shelf out, I needed to then make the space for the new shelf to come in, because I was going to use the shelf from the office. And so I did need to move the couch around because I wanted the shelf to be by Colin's chair, but I didn't like where his chair was because it was always rolling into the corner, and we always had to move it out. So I did flip-flop where those were. Here's just really organizing and rearranging the room. I do want to say that it is great to have YouTube on the TV. I played so many videos from The Minimal Mom and Natalie Bennett and Frugal Fit Mom, all of some of my favorite channels, the whole time I was doing this, because it provided an opportunity for me to feel like others were there cleaning with me, decluttering with me, and just teaching me more as I was going. So if you want to check out their channels, I will link them in the mentions below. I have been watching them now for probably about a year, and it has been great because they helped me in my move, as well as just continue to try to live more of a simple lifestyle and changing how I view even gift giving. And you'll see in a Christmas video on our couple channel some of the gifts that we're giving. They are inspired by these YouTubers, and I have been so blessed to find their channels and to be able to kind of follow their journey throughout the past year. Another thing that I wanted to mention is you might notice this basket sitting right in front of the shot. It is actually a cleaning basket, and so it's got all cleaning supplies in there, microfiber cloths, all-purpose cleaner, as well as some window cleaner that just makes it easy to clean up when you can bring the basket with you from room to room instead of having to go find the supplies when you need it. And so I did like that. I also like this little Shark vacuum because it does have a small, you can put a small attachment on or this larger attachment. It's one I use for day to day, as well as just getting in those nooks and crannies. We do have a plug-in that's got a little more power to do a deep clean as well, but I didn't use that in that video just because there's so many things that I'm trying to do here, so that I was just spot cleaning as I was going so that I can deep clean later. Here I brought out this smaller shelf, and really I'm just starting to put things back on that were on my cube shelf. I did notice that the cube shelves and the bookshelves, they function very differently. And for us, we have a lot of things that Colin likes to visually see. And so just trying to organize that so it doesn't look super cluttered, but that the things that he wanted are back on the shelf. And as well as practical items, things like our basket with our remotes, because from his chair he wouldn't be able to reach the coffee table that's in front of the couch anymore. By having his remotes in a smaller container in a basket, it does make it look clean but also functional. So for example, I have this one here. My tape's not in here, but normally it's my stapler, my paper clips, and my tape dispenser. I'm using the tape dispenser to wrap gifts right now, but from on the shelf you just see this white basket and you don't see all of the individual items within it. And so it's also really easy. When I originally had the taller shelf, it was higher up in my office than right here. It's at about eye level. It was higher up on the shelf, and so it did make it easier to grab the whole basket, take out what I need, you know, staple my thing, put it back, and then place this back on the shelf, instead of having to get up, go over to the shelf, pick out the one item I wanted, and come back, use it, then put it back. Small things, but make such a difference in the flow of how you work. Now, let's move into the Christmas tree. So I did haul in all of our Christmas boxes, and here I'm gonna set up the Christmas tree. And Hey, so I just wanted to share some of the things I did off camera. I finished setting up the Christmas tree, and I did take a break. I started digging out other stuff for like stockings, finishing wrapping up, cleaning out our travel bag from this weekend. I got the what's it called? The tree skirt on. Did a little more cleaning up. I did finish this section. I laid out all of Colin's birthday cards since I want to have those out for a little while before we do a last look at them, recycle them if we want, or I don't know if he wants to keep them. I'll let him decide that because they are his, and some of them are homemade from his family. And then I do need to get some sort of strip or hook because I want to put the stockings on the mirror that he gave me, and so there's a little ledge on top, and I'm gonna get some sort of hook and hang them from there. I don't think it's gonna hold like stocking items this year, but we'll see what I can find and what it ends up being able to hold. And then I am just about to start the dishes because I need to get those done before I go to pick up Colin. I'm going to throw the laundry in and get that started so that when I get home it'll be done. I need to figure out what we're doing for dinner and pull that out. Probably just something out of the fridge. Haven't figured out exactly what yet. But I wanted to hop on here because I'll probably make this a long video. I am giving up on one of the rooms today. When I rearranged out here, I threw anything that was extra in our spare bedroom, which if you look at this before clip of the spare bedroom, it looks worse now. And a lot of that is just because I've been moving things in there to use it as a storage room for the time being so that I can get all the Christmas decorations put up, all the fall decorations taken down, and then once I have the fall decorations taken down and put over into our storage unit and the boxes from the Christmas decorations, a lot of that is Christmas gifts. And so there's a lot of gifts that I just need to wrap or figure out how I'm going to keep them hidden. There's some that are Colin's, so I am gonna try to keep that door closed because I don't want him to see it, but it's also the office, and so this video will probably be edited later on. I'll probably have all of the clips by the time this video is done editing because that office is crazy to work in. I did switch shelves out of the office, so the one that was in the corner in our living room, I switched that with the one that's in my office, and I had to, ultimately come up with a new way to organize my shelves because cube shelves versus a normal bookshelf, they are very different. They function very differently, and so I haven't perfected how I'm going to have those set up. And so in the time being, a lot of that stuff is sitting on the desk. Gonna make it really hard to work, but eventually these videos will be edited and up, as well as we'll have a couple other, hopefully some other couple challenges before we get this video finished, because those ones are super easy, a lot shorter, easier to edit, and not so many different clips that I'm trying to piece together. And so I'm gonna get this stuff started, and I can't wait to get back on here and update you again on what the space looks like. So I know it's a stupid thing, but one of the things that I dread the most about doing dishes, and I know like some people would say, yeah, just throw them in the dishwasher, and I've just thrown them in the dishwasher before, but I dread the items that I have to hand wash, especially like my pots and pans. But I've come across, you know, just finding out how much that they get worn out when you don't hand wash them. And so I have been meaning to hand wash these now for several days. And today's the day because I'm going to need them for dinner. Also, if I would just do this when I use the items, things like this wouldn't be dried on. Ugh. And another reason why I don't like hand washing everything is, if you don't know, I have an allergy that I break out in times when I get too warm. And so earlier in the video actually, I did have to stop doing some of this cleaning because I started breaking out. And so you can kind of see in some of the close-ups, I am breaking out of my chest, and these kind of red spotches, and that's kind of the start of it. But if I continue, it progressively gets worse. And so sometimes it's things like, you know, moving around like I was, hauling things back and forth to different places. But other times, it can be as simple as here scrubbing these dishes. Some days they get too warm, and it's not like my arms break out, it's the rest of my body that breaks out. That looks like it's not so. But, so that's part of why I also don't like hand washing them, because I need to use, you know, obviously hot water for cleaning. But I have learned that you know, as long as I do things slow and steady, I can do most things. I did break out really awkwardly yesterday. I was outside, took the dog outside, it was cold out, and then came inside and was breaking out. And simple things like that, you know, hot to cold, cold to hot, that can also cause me to break out, which is part of why I don't like wearing heavy coats in the winter. If the seasons could just all be the same temp, it'd be really well, you know, really well off. So, I just have a few more things to do. I have some clean stuff to put back together, my mandolin, and I have to season my cast iron and heat it to dry it off. Or well, finish drying it. I'm gonna dry it down and then season it, and then throw it in my 450 degree oven to finish getting that cleaned and ready for the next time I want to use it. But ultimately, like, besides cleaning the sink out, wiping down the counters now, this task that I put off and I dreaded for a while, to hand wash these took about 15 minutes with talking, 20 minutes maybe in all, to load the dishwasher with the dishes I had, to clean the ones that needed to be cleaned in the sink, and hopefully to get the rest of the stuff put away. It didn't take that long, and I've been pushing it off way too long. So we're going to take a little break from our cleaning, and I am going to get dinner ready. And so I've had this spaghetti squash. I actually had two, and one actually went bad. Got super soggy and mushy because it was punctured. But I did have this other one that I decided I was going to cook up and we should eat it up today. And so here I'm just gutting the inside, cleaning it out. And this is something that I really enjoy eating, and Colin really hasn't had it too often. And so if he's ever had it, and so I wanted to make sure that it was cooked and it was fresh and good. And so I just am cleaning it out, and I'm going to put this on a sheet pan that's going to go in the oven. I simply season mine to cook it with some olive oil and some garlic powder. I just pour a little olive oil inside of each of the halves. I kind of spread it around. I sprinkle it with garlic powder, and I place them upside down on the sheet pan in the oven, about 350 degrees or 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes until the inside is tender enough to just scrape it out. And that's how you end up getting the little strands of spaghetti squash. I think it's so fun. My dad used to make it with marinara sauce and meatballs, and we would occasionally have it. We wouldn't have it too often because as a family of 7, it would have taken a lot of spaghetti squash to feed our family, and my mom, I think it was my mom that wasn't super excited about it. Then this is recorded the day after Thanksgiving, so we have turkey left over. So I'm going to just chop this turkey up. I'm going to throw it in a little container to mix it, as well as some carrots that I had in the fridge and some zucchini. And so I am going to make a buffalo ranch turkey topping to kind of put on our spaghetti squash. And so here I'm just cutting these carrot chips up so that they fit better and they're easier to eat, and they're about the same size as everything else. And then I will get the zucchini out. There's a couple of them that weren't looking so bad, looking so good they kind of wilted, because I had pre-cut or pre-sliced these before, and I had them in the fridge for just general use. But I decided I needed to use them up to clear out some of the stuff in the fridge. You could easily use other things like bell peppers or maybe eggplant, really up to you. I think that the flavor of the buffalo and ranch really can work with almost any vegetable that you want to put in here. So I am going to use, I need to switch to a bigger bowl, but I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of ranch and 2 tablespoons of buffalo sauce. mix this up, and then I'm just going to put it back in the Pyrex. And I'm actually going to cook this later when I go get Colin, and we'll just reheat everything when we get home so that it's warm and hot. And this is what it looks like now that I have it in the Pyrex and I've cooked it. I didn't take a picture of it with the spaghetti squash, but doesn't that look delicious? It tasted really great too, and if I had more of all of this, we would have had some for lunches. But we were using up what we had. But this is something that I will continue to use as a general recipe on just throwing things that we have in the fridge. And it's super easy to be able to use them for recipes that require chicken or, well, chicken or turkey. But also you can do it with using up things in the fridge, buffalo and ranch, and you can, instead of spaghetti squash, you could use noodles. You could put it on rice. You could use those riced cauliflower bites, zoodles, any of those options. I think this would be a really good dish to put on top of those items. And so this was good. Colin thought it was good. And this is going to wrap up today's really long clean with me video. We did more, and a lot of the other clips and pieces of what we did will be in our Christmas vlog on our channel. And you should check out our couple vlog, because we talk about our little Christmas tradition of our ornament that we picked out for this year. And so we talked a little bit about our ornament as well as getting this tree decorated. So if you want to see what our Christmas tree looked like in the end, be sure to check out that video. I will leave a link in the description once the video is up. It is in editing. And so once the video is up, the link will be below, and you can check that out, and be sure to come back and check out other Clean With Me's recipes and declutters that I do in the future. I am trying to get these done and edited. You'll probably see a lot shorter videos in the future instead of these crazy long 40+ minute videos. So until next time, thank you for joining me at table time. I also just need to throw in this. Here's this little blooper that just made my day. I got shot with the soap while I was doing dishes. Check it out. Oh, it shot me.